Hello, traders. FX Pip Collector here. Today is Thursday, January 22nd. This is my morning market breakdown of the US dollar pairs, including gold and a couple of the yen pairs. So, anyways, on the US dollar index, I do have a couple different possibilities. This right here is either the end of a wave Z or the end of a flat. And I don't really care either way because it's the same scenario. And that would be a 1, a 2, and this would potentially go down in a wave 3 like this. So, we would be very, very bearish the US dollar index if that is the case, which means we would obviously be very bullish, the euro dollar, pound dollar, Aussie dollars, bearish the dollar CAD, and the dollar Swiss. Now that still to me seems like the most likely scenario, but I do have an alternative if I go down to about the 2 to 4 hour time frame, because on the 2 to 4 hour time frame it seems very clear that this first of all is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up, very clear uptrend with a very clear downtrend with a break of structure, which you would think would be a wave A. Then you definitely have a very clean, defined 3 waves up right here. It looks like a wave B with a higher high. Then it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4 that needs to go down one more time for a wave 5, make a double bottom for a wave C. And this is actually like an expanding ABC correction right here. And then it potentially makes a double bottom, turns up, breaks structure, and continues the uptrend. Now, it is kind of disappointing because these are two very different analysis with two very different directions. But if it does this, double bottoms and then breaks structure up, then we'll know that the dollar is bullish and it's going to go up and make new highs. If it doesn't do that, but instead it makes lower highs and keeps making lower highs and pushes beyond this low, then we'll know that the dollar is bearish and we'll definitely stay bearish on the dollar pairs. Now, what we need to do is we need to take this analysis and we need to apply it to all the US dollar pairs themselves, because that's basically going to tell us what direction we should primarily be trading in on all the dollar pairs themselves. So moving on to the euro dollar, back up to the daily time frame. I mean, we had a huge impulsive engulfing move to the upside over the last few days. If this right here really is the end of a pullback, which it definitely does look like a possible contracting triangle, like an ABCD contracting triangle, and if it is that, then it is going to break out and it is going to keep on going up. But based on that dollar analysis, there is a chance that this big move is just a bull trap and it actually ends up pushing down like that. And we should be able to recognize either one of those scenarios on sort of time frames. So if we go down to the 1 hour time frame, price does seem to be trying to respect the 61%. And if it makes a higher low and then makes a nice engulfing candle to the upside, breaks out of these highs, then more than likely it is going to go up and make another move to the upside. We'll just have to keep an eye whether it does like a double top and on then reverses back down. But on the other hand, like I said, there is a possibility that the dollar goes up. And if the dollar does go up, then this will go down, break to the downside with a very impulsive engulfing candle, and likely push beyond all these fib levels and keep on going down. So if you pay attention to structure, you should be able to tell what direction it wants to go. And you pay attention to the higher time frames, and you pay attention to this lower time frame structure. Moving on to the pound dollar, back up to the daily time frame. Pound dollar also pretty much the same as the Aussie, the euro dollar. Big engulfing move to the upside. If this really is the continuation of the uptrend, it could just keep on making higher highs, higher lows on this daily time frame. If this right here is actually just a bull trap and the dollar really is getting ready to turn back up, then this would end up turning back down and making a much bigger move to the downside. So either scenario, like I said, we should better recognize that by keeping an eye on our structure. So what do we have here? We have our Fibonacci retracement from here to here. We have a nice impulsive move up. It looks like we have 3 waves down. That right there does kind of look like to me it's trying to end the correction right at the 78%. If it goes up and breaks out of these highs, then it's probably going to go up and make new highs. If it doesn't go up and break out of these highs, but instead rejects it and starts going down and breaking these lows, then we have to realize that the bearish analysis I told you about on the higher time phase could be correct. I think that we need to keep an eye out for logs, but we need to really, really pay attention because it could turn bearish very easily based on that US dollar analysis. So keep that in mind for sure. Now moving on to the Aussie dollar, back up to the daily time frame. Aussie dollar is very, very strong. We're sitting right at a Fibonacci extension level right now. The 138 could be an area of resistance, but I definitely wouldn't assume that it's an area of resistance because it could very, very easily just push beyond this point and just keep on trending up. So taking it down to the 1 hour time frame, I mean, I really have a hard time recommending anything but longs on this. It does look like it is trying to find resistance, so put our Fibonacci retracement from here to here. If it does make a move down, which it doesn't have to, it could keep on going up. I would not recommend shorting it because the weekly, the daily is all in uptrends. But if it does end up pushing down, I personally would just wait patiently for some sort of a pullback, something like this: 1, 2, 3 waves down, 1, 2, 3 waves down to a Fibonacci retracement level, and then another engulfing move to the upside at a fib level for another long opportunity. Now, if it does decide to go down and break this 100% level right here, then obviously the daily time frame has found the top. So if it does go down and break this low, then we'll know that the daily has found the top, and at that point we'll start looking for shorts. But like I always say, we cannot assume anything about the market until the market actually proves it to us. Moving on to the US dollar CAD, back up to the daily time frame. This is one of the ones where I was like, okay, this is impulsive up. Looks like an A or a 1. Looks like we're in a crutch into that move, either a wave B or a wave 2. My dollar bullish analysis would kind of agree with this, potentially going up for either a C, which would look like that, and then reverse back down, taking out all these highs, maybe going up to this area right here. Or possibly this is actually a wave 3, and if it is a wave 3, it would just continue to make higher highs, higher lows, and just keep on pushing up. So keeping that in mind, going down to the 1 hour time frame, I really want to see a nice break of structure to the upside. We don't have that yet, but we do have a pretty impulsive move up. So I have my Fibonacci retracement from here to here. If it bounces from the fib level really nicely and makes an engulfing break to the upside, then it probably is going to go up and break structure. But the break of structure is what's going to help me confirm that we are actually back into the uptrend. If it doesn't go up and break structure, we do have to realize that it could just go up and make a double top and reverse back down or something like that, because technically the daily is down based on market flow. Based on structure, the daily is up, but based on market flow, the trend is definitely down. And if it does not break to the upside, then it might make another move to the downside. Based on my US dollar analysis, I think that it's potentially is going to break to the upside, and it is potentially going to start a move to the upside soon, maybe today or tomorrow. Moving on to the US dollar Swiss, the US dollar Swiss is usually quite a bit different than the other dollar pairs because it's such a risk on, risk off currency. I mean, originally I was thinking that this was going to go all the way up and take out these highs, which I still think is a possibility, but this is a very, very strong move to the downside. You would kind of think that this move down is potentially not over. We did make a little bit of a fib bounce, but we definitely don't have engulfing up. We definitely don't have a higher low or anything like that telling us that the move down is complete. So I would be recommending shorts on this still for now. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, I would want to already be short on this. I wouldn't really be trying to go short now. But if I was short, I would be paying very close attention to these Fibonacci retracement levels, because if you get like a double bottom, maybe on like the 15 to 30 minute time frame with a break to the upside, it probably would lead to more movement up. But like I said, based on the higher time frames, I really wouldn't be surprised if it just makes lower lows, lower highs, goes down and makes a new low. I really like to take it one wave at a time, and right now the market is telling us to look for shorts. So I would be looking for shorts unless we get a nice reaction to one of these fib levels with a nice break of structure to the upside. Moving on to gold. I don't really have a lot to say about gold except for we're in an uptrend on the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour time frame. We're in an uptrend on every single time frame. We passed my first resistance area, which was right here. My next big area of resistance on gold is right here, which is right about $5,020 per ounce. I personally think that gold is going to hit the $5,000 mark within the next several weeks, and I personally have a hard time recommending anything but longs on gold, which I have been saying for months now. So really, I even if you are a very short time frame trader, I really have a hard time recommending anything but longs. Yes, we are making a move to the downside. Yes, there is a big old giant gap down here that is going to likely get filled. But I've seen gaps on gold be open for a year to 15 months before they get filled. They definitely don't have to get filled right away. Now this move down kind of looks like it could be like a wave A, so this actually could make another move down. And I just really have a hard time recommending shorts, even though I think it could make another push down before it goes up. Because when you're in an uptrend on every single higher time frame and you come down to like the 1 hour range and you're like, oh, it looks like it's going to go down, oftentimes you end up going short, it goes down a little bit, and then it just shoots right up because every single higher time frame is in an uptrend. That's why I would really try to keep my focus in trying to go long on every pullback I see. We already got 1, 2, 3 waves down to a fib level. I mean, this could now be making higher highs, higher lows, and heading up still. Seems like it's more likely to make more of a complex pattern like this, but I still, like I said, have a very hard time recommending any shorts on gold. So anyways, moving on to the yen pairs, the US dollar yen, back up to the daily time frame. The US dollar yen did make a higher low, as you can see, higher low, higher low. The trend is up on the weekly, the trend is up on the daily. Whether it goes up and makes a new higher high, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We have our Fibonacci extension on here to help with areas of resistance, but we are definitely still recommending longs in an uptrend. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, if you've been following along with my analysis, yesterday I said longs, and then last night in the Asian session, that was a beautiful entry right there in the Asian session last night, perfectly waves down. The only problem with it for me is that it happened at 2 o'clock in the morning when I was sleeping, but very nice entry. It is pretty impulsive down right now, as you can see, but we don't really know that it's going down for real unless it goes down and starts taking out structure, which our structure is right here. We kind of need, because the weekly, the daily is all in an uptrend, we kind of need to assume that anything we see to the downside is likely just a pullback within an uptrend, and potentially it's going to end up doing something like this before it just keeps on trending up. So, I mean, I personally have a hard time recommending shorts, even though it might end up, going down for the day, doing something like this before it actually goes up. I just have a very hard time recommending shorts because it can also just make, 2 or 3 1 hour candles down, bounce from a fib level, and just keep on trending up because we are not at a Fibonacci level in the higher time frames, and every other higher time frame is definitely still in an uptrend. So moving on to the euro again, pretty much the exact same story on all the yen pairs. We did end up making a new higher low, higher low. We are at a Fibonacci extension level. The 100% does seem like a likely area for resistance, but it doesn't have to be. I mean, it could just cause a little bit of a pullback, and then it could just keep on going up on the sort of time frames. As long as it doesn't go down and break structure, which is right here, or go down and make a big engulfing candle to the downside on this higher time frame, I am definitely still very bullish. I am definitely still doing nothing but looking for longs in a uptrend. So going down to the 1 hour time frame, because of my higher time frame, weekly, daily, all in uptrends, anything I see to the downside, I am definitely assuming is likely nothing more than a pullback within an uptrend, likely just a pullback to the last wave of that trend. So we have our Fibonacci retracement on there. I have a very hard time, like I said, recommending shorts because, yeah, I do think that it might go down, but I think the move down could just be another pullback within an uptrend. Now, if it does decide to go down and break this structure way down here, then fine, we'll start looking for shorts after the break of structure, but it hasn't done that. So for me personally, I'm waiting for pullbacks. I would like to see three-way pullbacks for more entries to go long for hopefully the continuation of this higher time frame uptrend. And moving on to the pound yen, it's pretty much the exact same story as all the other yen pairs. Did end up making another higher low. We made another higher low. There's a good chance it will try to go up and make a new higher high. We got our Fibonacci extension on here for areas of resistance along the way. Price is reacting to the 61%, but as long as it doesn't engulf down on the daily or go down and break structure, we are definitely still very bullish, meaning that on the 1 hour time frame, anything I see to the downside, I definitely still need to kind of assume is likely just a pullback within an uptrend. I have my Fibonacci retracement from here to here because if it does make a pullback, which it really doesn't have to, I mean, it could just keep on going up. But if it does make a pullback, then hopefully we'll be able to recognize that pullback by seeing like some sort of a three-way move to the downside to a Fibonacci retracement level. Then hopefully maybe a break to the upside on like the 30-minute to 15-minute time frame before it actually ends up continuing those higher time frame uptrends. So anyways, that's pretty much all my analysis. Don't forget to check out my website, fxpipcollector.com, if you want to be part of a great trading community on Discord and you would like to follow along with all my trades, my swing trades. Definitely don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, thank you for watching and happy trading to everyone.